Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable, my advisor, and my examiners, I hope you can always stay healthy and stay safe. Today, I would like to present my thesis proposal entitled Psychological Maturity in an Enriched Novel, The Green Road. Background of study. Human beings cannot be separated from problems, conflicts, and challenges because they are part of the life of human beings. It is the problems and challenges that people face that make their life more meaningful. The harder the problems they experience by people, the more lessons that they learn from them. The problems can be categorized become internal and external problems and physical or emotional problems. The example of problems are having dysfunctional family and suffering from disease. People also have different ways and attitude toward the problems. There are people who give up easily, hence they cannot make remarkable achievement in their life. Their life are full of agony and regret. However, there are also people who are strong and persistent to overcome their life hardship. No matter how difficult the problems, how big the problems, they are going to face them. People who are brave to go through life hardship usually have maturity in their mind and soul that motivate them to act independently, to be able to take responsibility, and motivate them to make a remarkable achievement in their life, which Hersey and Blanchard call psychological maturity. The phenomenon of people who have psychological maturity can be found in real life. However, it can also be found in literary works. One of the literary works that reflect the issue of psychological maturity is a novel entitled The Green Road by Anne Wright. This analysis is focused on this novel. In this analysis, psychological maturity refers to the way the protagonist reacts and positions herself in facing many problems in her life. Next, psychological maturity. There are two keywords from the terminology in this study. They are psychological and maturity. According to Cambridge Dictionary, psychological is related to human being, mind, and feeling. While the meaning of maturity, according to American Psychological Association Dictionary, maturity is a state of completed growth or development as adulthood. Next, a brief description of the author's biography. The author of this novel is Anne Wright. She was born on 1962 in Dublin. She is an Irish author. She studied English and philosophy in Trinity College in Dublin, and she went on to study MA in creative writing at the University of East Anglia. And she has published some novels, short stories, essays, and one non-fiction book. And she has many achievements as a writer. She won so many awards in her career as a writer. Next, The Green Road. A novel entitled The Green Road by Anne Wright reflects the issue of psychological maturity. In this analysis, psychological maturity refers to the way people react and position themselves in coping with their life hardship. It represented by the protagonist, whose name is Constance. She is the eldest child in her family. She has three siblings, Ben, Emmett, and Hannah. They experience a dysfunctional family since they were very, very young. Their parents are not good at parenting. Their mother is a childish one, and her father is a responsible person. Besides this situation, the protagonist also has a severe disease that is breast cancer. However, the way she reacts and positions herself is really different. With her from other family members. Her siblings and her parents really give up easily when they face the problems. However, the protagonist never give up in her life. Even though the problems is really big, she never give up and struggle to maintain her life. It proves that she has psychological maturity. There are two ways to show that she has psychological maturity. It can be seen through her psychological resilience and her self-confidence. In terms of psychological resilience, she has divergent ways of thinking. She can decide the best things to do. She is a large-minded person. She has optimistic mind toward the problems, and she has self-control that lead her to self-awareness. And in terms of self-confidence, she believes that she believes in her own ability. She acknowledges that she is strong. She is an independent person since she was young, and she realizes that she is the only one her family member can rely on. Next, the problems of study. This study focuses on the issue of psychological maturity. There are two research questions that give contribution to reveal this issue. They are: the first one, how far does the novel The Green Road expose the issue of psychological maturity? And the second, to what extent do fictional devices such as character, setting, and plot contribute in revealing the issue of psychological maturity? Next, purpose of study. The aim of the study is to seek how far the novel The Green Road reflects the issue of psychological maturity, and it's also the study is going to investigate to what extent the character, setting, and plot give contribution in revealing the issue of psychological maturity. Next, previous study. To the best of researcher knowledge, there have been many works that analyze the novel The Green Road. However, the analysis that focuses on psychological maturity is still rare to find. There are some studies that give contribution and inspiration in analyzing this novel. The first study is entitled Fragmentation and Vulnerability in and Writes The Green Road: Collateral Casualties of the Celtic Tigers in Ireland by Barros del Rio. It probes the representation of family and individuals during the Celtic Tigers. The result of this study is this novel is mirroring Celtic Tiger Island's consequences to the individuals and also to the society. The second study is entitled Life Instinct: Experience Reflected in Jenny Dunham novel Before I Die, a psychoanalytic perspective written by Raditya Wati. She used psychological theory by Freud to find out the vision of the writer, and the outcome of the study shows that Jenny Dunham novels illustrate the psychological experience when an individual submits herself fully to her own instinct. Next, the third study is entitled The Main Character's Survival Instinct in Herbert George Wells' novel The War of the Worlds, was written by Ilham. The analysis focuses on how the main character struggles to maintain his life. It concerns the changes of his behavior after the difficulties that he experiences. And this analysis reflects related to the life and death instinct by Sigmund Freud. The analysis reveals that the main character experiences psychological changes after the difficult situation. All of these studies highly contribute to this research. Unlike the previous study, this analysis focuses on the way the protagonist reacts and positions herself to overcome the life hardship in her life, and it exposes how bravely she can deal with her internal and external problems. Next, theoretical framework. This analysis is related to life instinct theory by Sigmund Freud. According to Freud, as cited in Boyer 1997, life instinct is an instinct that motivates individuals to perpetuate their life. And life instinct motivates people to have desire to maintain life. It creates pleasure for human beings, and it helps human beings to be strong and to survive, to overcome their life hardship. Next, methodology. The analysis of the novel The Green Road by Anne and Red is done through text and context-based interpretation. The novel is analyzed by using fictional devices such as character, plot, and setting. This analysis deals with the concept of life instinct by Simon Freud. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.